Hello and welcome to Scalemodeling, and welcome to part 12 of our Tyrrell P34 1/12 scale 6-wheeler by Tamiya. And welcome to the channel. If this is first time viewing this video, there's quite a lot in the playlist to catch up on. As I said, we're into step 12 now. And as you can see, we're about to work on some decals. So we've got all our parts painted in the last video, and they come up fantastically. And then I realized that I can't clear coat them until I put the decals on. So we'll get onto that in this video. We'll also be putting on some little bits and pieces along the way that need doing as well. So I've got everything set up here with some cotton buds all ready to go. I've got some toothpicks or cocktail sticks just to help position them. What I tend to do is clip the ends off so they're not a sharp point. Don't want to take a risk in tearing the decals. And we've got scissors are to take the decals off the sheet where possible rather than using the knife. You get a cleaner cut and less chance of causing any damage to the decals. You can see them all there looking quite nice. There's quite a lot, a few more on the back there. But they're really good cartograph decals, so I'm sure we'll have no problem with them. Also got tweezers ready, and of course paper towels and water. The water is boiled water from that I've let cool down, and it's going to be nice and clean, so we've got no problem with that. All right, the first one I'm going to start with on the instructions, and I'll just quickly put the instruction one up on here for the decals just before we start. And you can see we're doing the number 3 car of Jody Scheckler from 1976. And there's all the decals we need to go through. I'm going to start on the rear wing first. And that will be the Goodyear decals will go on the sides. There's Goodyear on top, then we've got the elf on top, and then underneath there's 2 elf stickers. So that'll be a good start, and that'll be complete, that piece. And there it is there, painted up. So you can see how nice that came up with the Outlaw Paints. Really, really beautiful. All right. So now I do, because there's no clear coat on here, it's just the straight paint. I'm just going to put these down with water. Okay. I do have some mark fit that we might use. We'll see how that works. Otherwise, I don't think we'll have any problem. It's a beautiful, nice, smooth surface on there for them to sit down on. All right. So let me just, first of all, get the decals off. We'll probably go with the smaller Goodyear ones first. And give that a start. Okay, I'll be back in a sec. And just another couple of tips. The reason I mentioned about scissors is because scissors do a straighter cut. Okay, and you got less chance of slipping with the knife and cutting another decal. Okay, plus it makes a cleaner cut. If you use a knife, it tends to bend the paper. And if you're doing it close to other decals, sometimes you can, cause damage to them. But if you do use a knife to take decals, make sure you got a solid surface. I use this for cutting Photo-etch. But if you do it on a solid surface, that helps as well. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I'll continue on. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, sorry, I forgot to hit record when I was putting it on, but there we go. I've just put that on, got it in position, took a bit of the excess off, smoothed it out, put a bit of mark fit over it. All right, and I'm just going to leave it now and not touch that, and it should just settle down, fingers crossed, and it'll look perfect. Okay. Yeah, another little tip, when you're putting it, you soak the decals in your water, just do it for a couple of seconds. You basically just want to get the paper wet. then sit it on the paper towel and let it lift off from there. Okay, and also it's a good idea to, if the numbers on the decals, so that was decal number 52, cut those numbers off before you stick it in the water, because those numbers tend to fall apart, and then you got little black bits of decal floating around that's going to get stuck on your decal, on your white decal, and be quite a problem. So make sure you cut the numbers off as you place the decals. Okay. All right, so I'm just going to leave that for a bit. We'll see how it settles down, and then all's good. We'll continue on. Be back in a sec. All right, so there's the first decal's gone down. It's dried. It's looking quite good. Happy with that. I'm just doing the two elf ones, which will go underneath here. One on each side under the spoiler. I was a little confused because on the decal sheet, we've got these elf ones are all number 4s. Okay, there they are. But then there's two here, which are number 3. And I thought, oh, maybe they're a bit smaller because they need to go under there. Whereas the other 4 go on the wing, on the front, and on the side of the panels on the car as well. But when I went through the instructions and looked at the markings for the decals, for some reason, decals number 3 here don't exist. All right, there's no call out for those on either car. So, but I'm fairly sure, looking at the size of these and putting them on there and looking at the picture, I'd say I'm pretty sure these are the correct one. There's 6 of these, and for this particular car, the Jody Scheckter one, there's 6 going on there. The other version of the car will use 4 of them, all right? But neither car has these 2, okay? So just be aware. There's also, I just had a quick look too, there's a little elf one there as in there. That one is number 33, and that doesn't exist either. So I'm thinking these decal sheets were probably from an earlier kit, and it's just got some extras on there. If I just check, maybe there's a date on the sheet, and no, it doesn't say, as far as I can tell. Oh, it's 2007. So the decal sheet's got Tamiya 2007. So yeah, it's probably just not going to go in this update. So yeah, just be aware that there may be some decals in here that you don't need. All right. Okay, I'm going to put these on the same way I did the last one because it worked out just fine. Basically putting a small layer of mark fit down on there, and then laying it down, and then putting a layer of mark fit over the top. And pretty much that's it. Don't touch it. Let it dry like that, and it'll settle down and be fine. All right, I will continue on, and we'll have a look at when these 2 are on. Okay, I'll let you watch me put one down. The off one went on nicely, as you can see there. And I've just put a little line of mark fit. And this decal is almost ready to come off. And we'll put that in its spot there. I'm also using these to wipe them down. The Icky Sticky. Let me grab a packet and see what I mean. These are micro brush applicators. These are 1.2mm ones. And as you can see, they're good for touch-ups, cleaning airbrushes, non-linting, non-absorbent, 100 pack. There you go. But it will take up the small amount of water that's on there or anything else. Okay, I think we almost got this. Do the test with the finger to see if it's moving. Yes, it is. Get the excess water off. And slide it on. Yeah. Like this. Yeah. And just going to position it where we want. Pretty much right there. See what I mean by these brushes are really handy. That's good. Now I'm going to put another layer of mark fit over the top here like this. And that should be fine. Make sure it's straight. And it looks straight to me. Maybe just down a little bit there. It's fine. That's it. I'll just leave that and then obviously make sure that's set properly before we turn it upside down and do the other side. But, yeah, there we go. Looking good. I'll just take a bit more off right the outside there. That's it. Nice. Okay, I will continue. Okay, back again. I'm just taking a break from the decals and getting the last of the photo etch off. Down here you'll see we've got the 5 supports that go on the front spoiler. You can choose the long ones or the short ones. All the photos I've gone through, even the picture on the front of the box shows the short one in place. So I'll put those on. So I've just got them off the sprue. These parts here, they go behind this on that front spoiler. Okay, and they're going to stay chrome, so I'll leave them. And all I need now to take off are these little latches here for the bodywork. I'll take them off, put them in a little container where they're safe, and we'll put them on the different parts while we're doing the decals, and they'll be done. Okay, now there you go. I'll be back in a sec with another update. Okay, so we've got this one done, and that's come up really good. Okay, I'll put that aside, and I think we'll start on one of these side pieces. This one here. This one will need the decals for number 3 will go on here. There'll be a stripe, and then the elf will go on there as well. Now there is a very faint line you can see for the decal for the stripe. That's important because it needs to go all the way over to here and line up with the one that's already on the car. So we'll probably have to test fit this as well when applying that decal. All right, so I'll get those decals ready. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, once again, I'm doing anything but decals. I'm just moving on. I've painted these little latches that go on the side of which will go onto here. There's 1, 2, and the other side. And then there's a little bit of photo etch you're going to sit on top of those. So I thought I'll put them on. And then I thought, well, there's some other pieces there that we got off earlier, and that's this. So I've glued these in, those brackets that we painted. Those are glued in. There's a bit of chrome just metal photo etch that is going to stay metal, and they'll go in the back, and they'll fit in there after this has been 2K coated, all right? So I can pop them in afterwards. You just see them from there. I put in these, which are which hold the air hoses in, the big ones that come through from the front to cool the brakes. I think that's for cooling the brakes on the vehicle on the front. And of course that rod, I've just set that in there as it's a support piece in there. I'm just about to glue that in spot, and that will finish all those little parts on step 40. And yeah, of course we've still got to put the the piece in the bottom here, that Photo-etch piece that I had to repaint, and I've done that. I've repainted it black, and I put that in there. Well, I will put that on there. Okay, so otherwise, yeah, and that'll glue in. Okay, back again shortly. Hey, welcome back. Another update. I've got these all bent, these bits of Photo-etch on here. Just bent them so that they'll fit in their locations. Haven't glued them on yet, so I'm going to use some very, very tiny amounts of CA glue to attach those. Obviously the spoiler's on the bottom there, the black one, so that's all done. Also, I've got one of the pins in there. You can see that one there. This one, it's either fallen out, unfortunately, I just noticed now, or I didn't put it on. No, I'm pretty sure it's fallen off. The chance of finding that is very remote, unfortunately. So, yeah, we'll see how that. We'll see what my chances are. I'll have a look around, and maybe I'll get it. Fingers crossed. All right, I'll be back soon. I'm still doing the decals on the other parts, and I'll show you a bit more progress of those. Okay. Hey, welcome back, everybody. So, I've had a look around. It's been a day actually that passed, and I couldn't find that little latch. But you might also notice that this looks a bit different. I actually had to repaint this. It was my fault. What I was doing was, as you can see, I've painted the insides of these vents black, and I was going to mask it up. I put a bit of masking tape on the bottom just to show where it ends, so I don't go too far down, just to make it easier. And when I pulled the and while I put it on, I thought, oh, what's wrong here? Because I had to straighten it, and I would lift the masking tape off, and I pulled the paint off. Thought, oh damn, this has happened to me once before. I've obviously put it on too thin along that bottom there when I originally sprayed it. So it's important with any paint really is to do a nice decent layer of your top coat. So anyway, not a problem. I just masked up along the bottom. I've still got to do a little bit of touch up on the ends there, but resprayed it, and it's come up just fine, just as good as it was before. I've done those now. I just did it a bit more carefully. I've just done one coat in there I just brushed it on, and I'll do that again. I'll just touch up the corners there where there was a little bit of overspray of the blue. Other than that, I'm just going to let this dry. I'll do a second coat in there, and that will be done, and then ready to do some decals, which I'm going to start on another part now. So we'll grab that part out, and yeah. Now, as for those little latches on there, I might try and just, like I did before, hit them with a bit of silver very carefully, just like dry brush, just to get that to appear up, but we'll work on that later. There's a chance I might find that missing piece, so we'll see. All right, I'll be back in a sec. Hey, welcome back, everybody. So I'm on the last decal, the second last decal. We've got to do these two stripes that go on either side of the shroud around the cockpit. My suggestion is to do it while it's on. I mean, this doesn't get glued on, but put it in place, because you really want these to line up at the bottom. Okay, it's very important to get them to line up, and you can really only do that better while it's off, so you can maneuver it, get it into position. Just going to put some of the usual, what was it here, dust on there. There we go. Mark fit on there, and I'll pop this one on. Water, and yeah, just to get it to line up properly. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll come back when I've done both sides of this, and then we'll have a look at all the pieces, all the decals on there, because I gotta tell you, they've come up really nice. I mean, you can see the front of that. Look at that, it's come up really good, but I'll show you the whole lot. All right, we'll be back in a sec. Okay, welcome back. So there we go, decals are on. and they got on really well, really nice. Cardiograph, decals, no problems. So yeah, I'm going to leave these overnight to dry properly before I even think about putting on our 2K clear coat on. I will touch up the black inside there a little bit, just needs a little bit of a touch up in there. Otherwise, these are all ready to paint. Okay, so when we come back, I'll be painting these in Diamond 2K by Outlaw Paints. Back in a sec.
Hey everybody, welcome back. So there's all our parts. All the decals are on. It's actually 2 days later. They went on really well, but I just wanted to make sure that they set and they were completely dry before we attempt to do the 2K clear, diamond clear. So what I'll do now is get them all ready to paint. That one's all right to go, but I've got to put the clips on these so I've got something to hold them by. And I'll get them all set up, and then we'll go over to the spray booth where we've got our diamond clear instructions. What we're going to do is we're going to do the first option there. So we've got 8 mils of clear part A, 2 mils of hardener, and 0.5 mil of thinner. All right, and there they are in there. That's where we're going to mix them, and let me do that. Sorry about the noisy birds outside, magpies. It's actually 30 up to 34, 35 degrees today. Incredibly warm. All right, I'll get the camera set up. I'll get those parts set up, and we'll have a look at mixing this stuff. Back shortly. Okay, so we're all ready to go, and let's get these mixed. So these are 1 mil in volume when they're full. And what we need is to start with, to give us 10 mils, which should be plenty to cover what we want to paint. We need part A clear, which is this one. It's our part A clear. We're going to use this is here for our little mixer. So we're going to need 8 mils of this. So it's just a matter of getting it up to there. We go. 8 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 2 bottles of these because you can see obviously we used most of this. 7, one more. 8. Yeah, you get 230 mils in this. Okay, so that's 8 mils of that. Then we want 0.5, so half a mil of actual thinner. And there it is there. Got 1 bottle of that. So half a mil will be just this. Ooh. Okay, so we want to go to half a mil there. That's it, half a mil. And then we need the hardener, which will be 2 mils of hardener. Once you add this hardener, you've got 30 to 40 minutes to use this, okay, which is plenty of time, At this point now, I've already got my airbrushes cleaned out and we're ready to start spraying straight away. The compressor's all primed up, sitting on about 18 psi, and it's all good to go. And our parts are now all set up so that I've got little handles to hold them, as you'll see when I'm spraying. Okay, so I'll add the hardener now, which is double checking, 2 mils, right? So we go, let's get this up, 2 mils, 1, 2. There we go. And we give that a bit of a mix with our toothpick. There we go. That's all it needs. And you can see there's plenty of there. More than enough. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start spraying now. I'll put all this stuff away and we'll do this in time lapse and let's see how well this goes on, eh? All right. I'll be back shortly. Okay, so that went quite well. Basically all you're doing is applying two thick wet coats, two even wet coats, and now we're supposed to leave an hour to fully harden and cure. It says here it'll be drying times in ambient 30 degrees, which is it's actually 20 degrees. It's actually 34 degrees here. It's dust free in 10 minutes. I've put the pieces under a container so they'll be protected from dust. Tack free in 30 minutes, fully hardened in 1 hour. It can be sanded, polished and buffed after 1 hour, but you shouldn't need to do any of that, as you will see when they dry. So we'll come back and have a look at it, and yeah, I'll give this a clean out, and we'll see how they came out when they're dry. Okay, be back shortly.
Okay, welcome back everybody. So as you saw, the painting went well. This is now a day later. We're going to have a look at the result, which I can say I'm very happy with. So let's bring out all the pieces and have a look at them. Here they are. There we go. So there we go, looking really nice. The paint went on beautifully. It came up. I'm trying to keep it down so it's in focus so you can see, but yeah, put that up there, that's better. There you go. Really nice. That. So yeah, really happy with that. That's gonna look fantastic when they go on the car. There's our seat, which we're going to put the belts in, or the race harnesses. They're all ready to go on them. We'll put those in, and there's our side pods for the car. Also looking good. So yeah, super happy. And there we go. Hey guys, I just wanted to cut in here and explain something that I found out afterwards. If you notice, while I was spraying there, I was a bit too close and putting on too much of the clear, and that was creating what they call an orange peel effect. So if you look at all the parts through all the bits I sprayed, I've gone and put too much over the top, and it's gone with that orange peel. So looks like I've got a bit of work cut out for me. One of my subscribers has given me some good advice. I need to polish and sand it back a little bit and do some work on all these parts. But in the meantime, I've got to leave them for a week to make sure they harden up properly, and then we're going to have to come back with the video and look at getting rid of that orange peel effect, which I've never done before. I'm a little bit nervous about it, but hey, it's all part of the experience, isn't it? So the paint was fine itself. It was my mistake, my newbie mistake, of painting it up too much pressure and too close, drowning the pieces. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'll continue on with the video, and just to let you be aware of that, no matter what I am saying it to you, I've just needed to correct myself there. Okay, back to the video. But if you want to see these all fitted on the car, you'll have to come back and watch that in the next video. So yeah, there you go. Outlaw Paints 2K Diamond Clear. Done. All right, we're getting quite a bit done now. We're getting close to the end. All right, guys, thank you all for watching. Don't forget, once again, I'll be on the live stream every Friday. You're welcome to come and join us in live chat and have a chat about modeling and anything else, including the weather. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. If you've got any comments, let me know down below. And yeah, fantastic everyone. I'll see you all in the next video. Okay, bye for now. Cheers.